Uh, I feel like this topic right here is going to come up multiple times in my episodes because a lot of situations just spawn from it. The good old checking in. What is checking in? What do y'all think checking in is? What do you believe checking in is? Everybody can have their own definition of it. Is it getting good advice from locals, people that you know are well versed in a particular city or state, and you reach out to them to know where to go and where to be? Is it that? Is it pay me to be here? Is it networking? The first time checking in to me started to get popular, where I started hearing it a lot and seeing it a lot, for the most part, was probably tied to Trick, to be honest. It may have been around the time that the young bird chain snatching incident happened and whatnot. But Trick got interviews online talking about what checking in is in his eyes. And I remember some of those clips of him kind of being irate, explaining that the locals were not getting looks and getting overlooked by some of these record labels that are coming in with their artists and making a lot of this money in their city and whatnot. Even the term of no fly zone as it pertains to y'all are not allowed here, right? I feel like that got popular from Trick as well. He had this thing about, Detroit, you come into my house, wipe your feet. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to people, make the locals a part of what you're doing. You coming in here to pick up a bag. That's not even on one of Royce the 5'9's albums. I feel like there's like a no fly zone song or something like that featuring Trick. So for me personally, that's when I feel like it really started to get a little bit more pushed out there into the industry, this whole checking in thing. And Trick is one of those guys where, in a certain city or in a certain state, those are the people that have these reputations in the street. Houston, for example, a lot of people talk about the Prince family. And we had this recent situation with Takeoff and the Migos, right? Takeoff being killed out there while allegedly with Jay Prince or with them or hanging out with them, whatever. But in all these different places, you have your figures. Detroit could be Trick. Houston could be the Prince family. Let's say California's Big U or whoever. New York. So you got all these different places where these street guys or people that have these street backgrounds or a lot of networking or a lot of tie-ins are the people that supposedly you would check in with. But what I always felt checking in is extortion. And when you hear extortion, don't just think mafia branded extortion. Like, okay, you got a store in this neighborhood and I'm going to come here every Friday and you're going to give me 10% of your earnings. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't just, and I'm going to give you protection and I'm going to stay off your ass. Like, it's not just that form when you speak about extortion. Extortion in this new era, especially within the hip hop industry, could come in a form of forcing relationships and forcing networking on people that you normally would have never crossed paths with or been in a room with or had a relationship with outside of it being pushed or forced or nudged, right? That's a form of extortion to a degree because you feel the need to do something that you possibly wouldn't have done on your own when you're in a particular place, right? As far as checking in and then being forced to do something or being nudged to do something. So that's always how I took checking in. Now, do I understand how some of these record labels may move and some of these celebrities may move, where you have the opportunity to share all your energy and your success with the same places and the same people that you're making possibly millions of dollars off of? I understand the concept, even though my business is my business. If I work myself up into this highly successful position and I'm from New York and Houston is calling me, a promoter in Houston is calling me and saying, I want to pay you $50,000 to do a show here. That's my fucking business. And that's what I earn for myself. Right. But I do see the perspective. I do see the perspective of, when you're in a certain place, it's always good to give back. Battle rap, that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not nowhere near the form of extortion at all. But if I do an event in Houston, I may have Scotty on the card. Scotty be out there. He's got a presence out there. He's got a following out there. He knows that area. You know what I'm saying? So out of intermingling and you know what I'm saying, it might be like, and I fuck with him already. Like Scotty was on my shit before we even did a he battled Ill Will in Atlanta. That's not where he's from. And then when we did a card in Houston, we linked up with Scotty. You know what I'm saying? It's not checking in. It wasn't checking in. So I could understand working with locals when you're in a different place. I understand that. You know what I mean? Or trying to show love or give back. There's nothing wrong with that perspective, but that's not what's happening. And I don't want to get into the takeoff and the Jay Prince situation because I feel like there's a lot of details there that still will come out. But I feel like the need to be forced to network with people and have these relationships, I feel like those local people are using their power to take a piece of you. And what I mean by taking a piece of you is your celebrity comes into town and I force you to be a part of my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like I even seen that 6ix9ine was explaining. We don't know whether it's 100% factual or not, but wasn't 6ix9ine explaining that was the situation between him and Jay Prince Jr., right? He was saying that I think he had a show or something like that in Houston. And they was just like, yo, come to the birthday party. You know what I'm saying? And be here at this time. And then 6ix9ine in his camp and Shotty and all of them was like arguing back, like, yo, we ain't gonna be there that early or whatever. And whatever conflict happened between them. And maybe everything I just said is not, maybe there's more details there, to be fair. Right. But this was at a time when 6ix9ine was the hottest person running around. So maybe you wanted him to appear at your concert or your show or your birthday. I could see that being very possible. This is way before all the snitch allegations and stuff. This is when, no, if 6ix9ine was at your party, that was dope, right? So I feel like that form of extortion is dangerous because you're forcing yourself to be around people that you wouldn't necessarily be around in your normal life, or you wouldn't have chosen to be around them, right? And they're looking to draw from you. They're looking to draw on your celebrity, draw on your success. They're looking to force network. You ever have somebody that just walk up on you, is just like, yo, man, yo, put my number in your phone. Oh, Lord, nigga. I don't want to maintain a relationship with you or maintain communications with you. But in this form of extortion and checking in, you kind of have to, right? You kind of have to. Yo, this is my city. This is my shit. So fuck with me when you pull up. Okay. Right? So I don't fuck with it for all of those aspects. And one thing that I really don't like about it is, why does it seem to once again only apply to hip hop culture? Why? Because I know people that's way bigger than some of these rappers. Like let's say Tom Hanks. If Tom Hanks pulls up to California, well, he's probably got houses out there, whatnot, because it's California. But let's just use the example. Like, let's say Tom Hanks pulls up to California. He's never been there before. Is he calling Big U? I don't see none of these big white celebrities and movie stars and musicians. I've never heard no story about checking in or nothing like that with them. Nothing. And here's probably the reason why. Because the hip hop culture must always remain tied to the street for the image of it, for the appeal of it. That's what we all rap about, right? God forbid you rap about selling drugs and being in jail and shooting people, and the fans find out that you lying or that you fake or you a fraud, right? Right? Everybody wants to come in with these stories. What rapper doesn't say that he doesn't have a drug dealing background? Like, or I didn't come up out the mud, or I ain't come from the check. What rapper doesn't say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. So because hip hop is so tied into the street culture, the elements of street culture and the hip hop mixed into that is dice games, is, certain types of clubs, certain types of rowdy areas. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have these certain elements that the hip hop culture community and artists feel that they also need to be a part of because of their own entertainment or reputations or lyrics or what they're trying to create as a perception to the fans, then it's gonna force you even more in the direction of some of these people that could grasp on you and say, oh, fuck with me when you're here, or come out to my party while you're here, or make me a part of your show when you hit. It's our culture that puts us right next to it, because some of these other cultures, like a Tom Hanks, for example, or pop in the pop world, you know what I'm saying, or some of these Hollywood actors, they're not checking in. Why? Because they're not tying themselves to hip hop or street culture. And I don't know if we could ever have that division, because, it's almost like a cosign to feel like you're a rapper and here I am next to Big U. Here I am next to Trick Trick. Here I am next to Jay Prince or Jay Prince Jr. You feel like that's good for your image too. So as much as we might say, rest in peace. Yo, what is Takeoff doing at a dice game? What's the Migos doing at a dice game? What are they doing at that little pool hall or whatever, right? The hip hop culture almost makes you present that element to be a part of what you're rapping about, your image and your success. It almost pushes you in that direction. And I feel like a lot of these people will take advantage of that. They'll take advantage of that. You have to come to the hood, right? Because you're a hood nigga, right? So you got to come to the hood. And you can't walk around this particular hood without me. Just come check in. Come fuck with me. Come party with me. Come hang out with me. Take my phone number. Call me when you out here. Let me come get a part of your show or whatever. It's crossing. The elements are crossing so much where it's just like these artists are putting themselves in danger. You want to hope that people get to a certain level, like let's say an Eminem or 50 Cent or Jay-Z or Beyonce, where you don't have to show nothing. You don't have to be co-signed by shit. Nobody's ever, these same people, are they ever going to ask Jay-Z to check in? Is somebody going to ever expect a phone call? He comes from the same places that y'all all claim that y'all from. Who's going to expect a phone call from Jay-Z because he just landed in LA or Houston or New York or Virginia or Detroit? Is Trick Trick going to expect Jay-Z to check in? No, he's not. He's not. And even the Migos, for example, like they're above that too. Like their level of success is huge. But like I said, maybe those relationships were developed because you feel like, oh, you know, we in Houston a lot or whatever. So, you know, let's tie in with Jay Prince and them and the Prince family and rap a lot and all that. What type of catch-22 is that? Does that strip away from your success? Because you claim to be from, you know, Jordan Downs, and now you're this multi-millionaire. You're not walking through the hood no more. Does that mean that now the fans is gonna say, "Oh, you fake, you ain't authentic"? It's such a weird position to be in, but it only happens within the hip hop culture. It seems nobody else is talking about checking in.